Hello, this is Tactics Guide number 2, and I'm going to be showing you how to win with the French. As you probably know, the French have a cavalry unit called the Cuirassiers, and it takes up 3 population, but it's worth it. It is the best cavalry unit in the game, and the 3 population isn't so crippling if you only make 20 of them, because then it's only 20 extra population, and they only have 80 villagers, although they gather faster. And yeah, they have an area damage, trample, but it doesn't hurt themselves when they do it, and they do it all the time. You can turn on extra trample if you feel like it, but I would not suggest it. And they're quite expensive. It's 150 of both gold and food, and if you use the thoroughbreds home shipment, it goes down to 135 of each. Okay, next up is the musketeers, and for all these units you're just going to want to max them out as best you can with home shipments and whatever, and they're a good all-around unit, musketeers, and most people, they freak out because then, oh no, I'm being charged by cavalry, right? When you just have musketeers. And if you go into their advanced tactics and you switch them all into hand attack, their hand attack actually gives you a 3 times bonus against cavalry due to the bayonet. So they actually can take out cavalry really effectively, especially against anti-cavalry, cavalry like dragoons. And if you run into cannons when you just have musketeers, you're going to want to spread them out and rush them around to both sides and switch them to hand attack, because it does more damage than bullets do to the cannons. So yeah, the third and final unit you're going to want to max out is the halberdier, and it's great against cavalry, and they can kill musketeers except when they're working their way up towards them. The musketeers, they can usually get like 15 of them before they even reach them, because they're pretty slow. And if you run into cannons with halberdiers, if they have people guarding them, you're not getting to them. Your halberdiers are dead. Just, yeah. But against buildings, they do pretty good damage. But I don't suggest making too many of them, but it's always good to have these guys maxed out. But you don't want any cards put towards them or anything. Okay, when using cuirassiers, you're going to want to use them like you do with hussars with the British. And that's just going to have them slightly to the left or right of your main squad of musketeers, and if they have cannons, you just wrap them around and destroy them. However, because of their trample attack, when there is just infantry everywhere, like, if they have hand infantry and they're rushing you with that hand infantry and against your musketeers, and they have some bowmen or whatever in the back, or skirmishers, what have you, you're going to want to send about 75% of your cuirassiers in between the two and start attacking the bowmen. And then, after you've killed the bowmen, you're going to want to just turn around and kill there. But the other 25% you're going to want to wrap around the very end of the bowmen, just to kind of clean them up from the other side, and so the space doesn't get too tight in which you're fighting. If you have like 50 cuirassiers, I don't know why you would, because that's just asking for pikemen, unless they're just spewing out skirmishers or something. You're just going to want about 30 of them, maybe max, and they'll clean up any army really easily if it's just infantry and cannons. Okay, also with cuirassiers, they take up a lot of space, or at least they tend to, like all horsemen, so you're going to want to, when you're fighting, just kind of spread them out a bit, right? Because else it gets too close together, and the enemy gets a couple of free shots in while you're trying to regroup your guys or trying to get them in to attack an enemy, because the computer takes time to realize, oh, I can't fit into that space, so it has to go around, and it will just stop there and sit for maybe a second and a half, and that is just not a good thing. So, yeah. When using cursors, don't even try to engage pikemen or halberdiers, because you will just die and you will lose a whole bunch of resources out of that. So you'll just want maybe one cannon and some musketeers to deal with them. But cannon for the French, it's not so important, because if you get the advanced arsenal shipment with the cuirassiers, there's the one shipment that increases cavalry damage towards buildings. So you can just run your cursors around. They're pretty quick, and you can just strike hard at walls and just get through them. Cursors are also good for raiding if they decide to not have walls around their city for some odd reason, or if it's in the game, like a free-for-all where people don't have walls right away. That's always good. But they're only at the 3rd age. So it's kind of hard getting there right away to be able to use them, but once you can, they're great. They take a long time to train generally, so you're going to want to use the card that you can get riding school, and you're going to want the church improvement, standing cavalry, I believe it is. And once that's done, if you can find any native settlements to help increase that, I forget which native tribe does it, but they're in the Great Plains, they increase the speed in which you can mount them. It's really good. It's great. And you can instant spawn them once you have 3 things, and yeah, it's great.